You know, when you hear the word poverty, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's money, right? But what if I told you that's only a tiny piece of the puzzle? Today, we're going to dig into a whole new way of looking at poverty, one that's absolutely critical in this super digital, eco-aware world we're all living in.
For ever, we've pretty much measured poverty one way, by how much money someone has. Simple. But what if that picture's dangerously incomplete? I mean, think about it. Your next job application, that doctor's appointment you need to book, your kid's homework, it all happens online now. So is a lack of cash really the only thing holding people back anymore?
All right, so here's the game plan for this explainer. We'll start by rethinking what poverty even means. Then we'll dive into the digital divide and the environment's role. After that, we'll bring it all together with a new idea called digital environmental poverty. And finally, we'll look at why all this matters for building a better future.
Okay, let's jump right in. The pandemic didn't just push a few meetings to Zoom. It fundamentally rewired our entire society. Almost overnight, everything, work, school, basic services, depended on a digital connection. And that massive shift means our old money-only definition of poverty is officially out of date.
This completely changes how we should look at the problem. Being cut off from the digital world today isn't just an inconvenience. It's like a giant wall being built around you. It literally locks people out of education, job markets, and healthcare. We have to look beyond the wallet and see a person's ability to use technology as a fundamental part of their well-being.
And that, of course, brings us to the digital divide. But listen, this is so much more complicated than just who has internet and who doesn't. There are actually different layers to this problem, and we've got to peel them back to really get what's going on.
Let's break it down into 3 levels. The first one is access. Pretty straightforward. Do you have a device and can you get online? The second is skills. Okay, you're online, but do you actually know how to use the tools effectively and safely? Then comes the third, and maybe the most crucial level, benefits. Can you actually turn that access and those skills into real-life wins, like landing a better job or getting better healthcare? This all leads to this really important idea called digital capital. It's not just about having a laptop. It's the whole package, having the tools and the knowledge to use them. Think of it this way. You can give someone a fishing rod, but if you don't teach them how to fish, they're still going to go hungry. A lack of digital capital does the exact same thing, just in the modern world. It creates a cycle of inequality.
Now let's switch gears and add another critical piece to this puzzle, one that honestly gets overlooked way too often when we talk about technology. And that's the environment. The quality of the natural world around you plays a huge role in all this.
We know that people living in poverty are hit hardest by poor environmental conditions. It impacts their health, it perpetuates hardship, but there's a digital link too. For instance, think about communities in areas prone to floods or big storms. They often have less reliable power grids and weaker internet infrastructure, which just isolates them even more.
And here's the real paradox. Technology is a double-edged sword here. It can be part of the solution, right? It can help us manage resources more efficiently and teach people about sustainability, but at the same time, it's also part of the problem. It drives up electricity demand and creates mountains of e-waste. So it's both the hero and the villain.
So we've got these 3 powerful forces swirling around: social inequality, the digital divide, and environmental justice. And they don't operate in their own little vacuums. They're all tangled up. The real challenge, and the key to finding solutions, is understanding exactly how they intersect. And that brings us to a new, more complete picture.
This new model is built on 3 interconnected pillars. You've got your traditional social poverty, that's income, education, all the usual suspects. Then you add digital poverty, that's the access, skills, and benefits we talked about. And finally, environmental poverty, which accounts for the quality of someone's physical surroundings. And here's the kicker: you can't solve one without addressing the others.
And this is where it all comes together in one powerful idea: digital environmental poverty. It's that perfect storm where social, digital, and environmental hardships all overlap. But it goes even one step further. It also includes whether people have the awareness and, just as importantly, the power to have a say in the sustainability of their own communities.
So you might be thinking, okay, great, a new term, so what? Why does this really matter? Well, it matters because you can't fix a problem you can't accurately define. If we're using an outdated map, we're never going to get where we need to go. Getting this right is the first step toward building solutions that actually last.
It also matters because, well, the clock is ticking. The United Nations has this massive goal to end extreme poverty by 2030.
To have any chance of hitting that target, we have to go after the economic, the social, and the environmental issues all at once. This holistic view isn't just helpful, it's absolutely essential.
And the good news is, we aren't starting from scratch. Groups like Codes have already developed detailed action plans that give us a framework for how to use digital tech to advance sustainability. They're bringing together governments and private companies to get to work on this challenge.
So how do we actually put this into practice? The key is integration. We need to go way beyond just providing internet access and actually start teaching real digital skills. We need to build environmental awareness into our communities. And most importantly, we have to give the people most affected a real voice in shaping the policies that impact their lives. The goal isn't to tackle these problems one by one, but all at once. This leaves us with a final, really important question for all of us to consider. As we build this increasingly automated and connected world, we have to be intentional. The goal isn't just about efficiency or innovation for its own sake. It's about building a future that is inclusive, equitable, and truly sustainable for everyone.